Everybody, welcome back to KF&JF podcast. Today, I tell you, we have a special guest on our show, and we're looking forward to all of the classy stuff that she's getting ready to tell us about, including some of the outfits that I think are amazing. But I know that everybody wonders what is going on out in these pop up tents and all these different vendors that are out there. There's a lot going on, and this is one that I want everybody to be like in tune and make sure you watch this video. But first, I'm gonna kick it over to my co-host, Rizak.
Hello, everybody. I am the CEO and founder of United Minority Business Ventures. My company assists in the creation and maintenance of your business by forming opportunities to communicate and collaborate with your followers, subscribers, and other business owners. We use a wide range of networking tools and methods to achieve results. We assist in the idea associated with social media marketing, building your marketing profile, creating your marketing strategy, building your financial profile for your business. We also assist in branding your product or your merchandise. We may also determine what licenses are needed to operate your business. We also assist in managing your website by selecting posts that create subscriptions, comments, and likes. We also can generate a comment on another individual's business site or page that create a dialogue or conversation directed towards your page. We also help navigate through the thousands of companies asking you for a fee when there's free companies out there. It's just a matter of starting from ground level or having pre-existing funds by buying into something more flashier. Ms. Hooper, I'd like to thank you for coming on the podcast today.
Well, thank you.
Well, everybody needs to kind of sit back for a minute and take a deep breath and prepare yourself for all of this beauty that's coming out, not only in front of us but
It's
behind her as
colorful.
well. So definitely something I'm looking forward to. But I want to have her introduce herself. So Michelle, please take it away.
Well, I am Mechelle Hooper, owner of Mechelle Hooper's Boutique. I'm located in the city of Lake Elsinore, California, and I sell all things African inspired from clothing, shoes, purses, and accessories.
Okay.
Well, Michelle,
Yes,
hey,
sir.
you're gonna have to give me a better journey than that one. So let me go ahead and ask you: Can you just give us a little background and journey about that? I know that's your name and everything, but I want you to tell me what the journey is about with you.
Well, about the name, about the boutique. Well, what you say
About
my
you,
about me? Okay,
about your journey.
my journey. Okay, how I started all of this. Okay, I had a thrift store.
Yeah.
So I had a thrift store for years. I used to sell used clothing. And then I went into a couple of African attire pieces, found me some local vendors, and I was like, okay, I could do this. When COVID happened, it was like everybody wanted to wear clothing that represented them. I love beautiful, bright colors, so this was just me all over, like all day. Like I could do this.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but yeah, that's how this business itself came about, and I was like, people love clothes, love dressing up, love feeling inspired by what they wear, and I'm like, brand yourself. So some people was like, name it after yourself. I'm like, yeah, I'm not one into designer clothes. So I'm like, if I'm representing somebody or I'm talking about a brand, I should be talking about something that represents me. So Mechelle
All
Hooper
right.
Boutique, this is where we at.
Wow, Michelle, that's good because it takes a lot to try to create your own business and make yourself noticeable out there, especially on YouTube, on all of these platforms that are out there. So if you could do me a favor, let our listeners know a little bit about what you have upcoming. What are some of the things you're working on to better your business?
Well, one of the things is last few months I've been invited to do a lot of fashion shows. So that has been really like an inspiration for me because I always wanted to model, but I was so shy. So I was like, oh my God. So now here it is. I'm 54 years old and I'm like, I'm modeling, I'm doing all this stuff, but I'm representing my brand. So I'm like, okay, here we go. We doing it. But yeah, we're just trying to, get more exposure, get the word out there about we don't have this here in this area I'm in. So I'm like, okay, what better way to get exposure is getting out there doing pop-up events. People invite me to churches, fashion shows, all kind of different stuff. Just trying to get the awareness out there.
Okay, that's what we always needed right there.
Have you been a little bit nervous about that, or is that something that you're used to doing, getting yourself out there? Have you what have you learned about the fact of being in front of the customer? Usually, a lot of people are, they want to just be in the back and have somebody else out there. What have you learned from being in front of the customer?
Well, my thing is nobody can do it better than you can. So I'm like, you can hire people, but it's just like, okay, I want this to look this certain way. Like I had somebody working for me, and I'm like, you couldn't tell that the shirt was, not on the mannequin right. So just, some things you have to just get in there and get your hands a little dirty and, do some stuff. But I was I've always been, even though I've been shy, from I started working when I was in the sixth grade. So I've always been around people. I was a hairstylist for 25 years. So me connecting with people on a one-on-one level, that one was never an issue. And then, like I said, I had a store for 7.5 years. So I always have to talk to people. So that part wasn't an issue. Getting online, now that made me nervous because I'm like, okay, doing online. I'm not a computer savvy person. But as times have changed, a lot of people are shopping on the internet. So it's like either your business gonna fold or you got the thousands of dollars to push your business out there or you gonna get in front of their camera. So I'm in front of the camera. A lot of my friends be like, girl, I wish I could. But it's like this is where they buying at. People sitting at home shopping. When COVID happened, they were shopping from their couches. So it's like, okay, you got to get with the times. I was just talking to my girlfriend about that this morning. She's like, business is so slow. But I have been doing online sales now for 5 years. And sometimes I still get nervous, but it's just like it's you in the room when you sell it to people online, face to face or doing a live. And I'm like, what you gonna get nervous for? So it's you talking to the camera or you talking to your customers, being authentic, your authentic self. Sometimes I get the question, people be like, most of my items are one size, and they'll be like, is everything one size? I try everything on one, so I'm gonna give you an honest opinion, where I can let you know if it runs small or run big. According to the customer size, I can tell you exactly what fits in the boutique, what will fit you. So I'm hands on.
Wow,
I'm hands on.
wow,
Hands
that is amazing that you. Go ahead, Razak. Go ahead.
No, I was just looking to see if when she says she's hands on, dude, I was not sure if we asked you this before in our previous conversations before the podcast, but are you making any of these? Are you sewing like a seamstress or designing these yourself?
No, not none of these, but I actually do. My husband does upholstery, so I did use his sewing machine this weekend, and I made a custom piece. So that will be showcased on my page. I'm working on something, but I don't sew. I have all these pieces. So some of them are imported in from Ghana, and some are from other vendors.
Okay, okay.
Wow,
Is there
wow.
is
I
there a
think that's
signature
one of the
clothing
things
line
that.
that you have too?
Go ahead.
Is there a signature clothing line? What?
Is okay. So it's the boutique, but I was wondering, do you have any like specific clothing line? Like, is it are any of these clothes name specific? You know what I mean? Like, or do they have their own category that certain items are in?
No, just other than dresses. I have pants. I have skirts, I have shorts, I have swimwear. So anything that would be a person will be able to wear, I have it here in the boutique. We sell men, women, and children clothing. So something for every day. something for every day. I was like, people was just like, oh, business gonna slow up because this Black History Month is over. No, baby, we wear these 365 days, 24/7. So
Right.
yeah,
Right.
yeah. So
You know,
nothing,
one of
nothing
the
specific. I do have some items that are top sellers, but nothing specific. Like you were saying, oh, this is like this one. This is a mermaid dress right here. This is well here. This one right here is a mermaid dress. So she's one of our top sellers. But other than that, they're just beautiful clothes. So when people say to me, like, oh, I don't wear African clothes, I actually had a client come to me and she said, I don't do African clothes. They bought 4 outfits in February, one for every Sunday. And then I did a pop-up event and they came and they bought some more pieces. So I'm like, now y'all into African clothes? No, now y'all into beautiful clothes. So yeah, it's yeah.
Yes.
let me ask
Yes.
you, when you think about the African clothing and the people that you sell it to, do you find that as they, like you were talking about the lady that was buying one for every Sunday of the month, do you find that as you bring this product to vending events and you bring it out there to the public, that people actually are, they are they taken back by it, or they really embrace the culture, really embrace the fact that they can actually see those colors that come from basically the motherland?
Yeah, they embrace it. I was actually at an event in Palm Springs, and a man came up to my booth and he was like, oh my gosh, he said, your booth is so beautiful. He was like, it reminds me of home. So if you're into African clothing, or to me, like I say, a lot of people, beautiful clothes. When I do an event, if the people are there, I have no problem like making sales or making connections with people. Maybe they might not purchase then, but they purchase in the future. So they embrace the tradition, the clothing. Yeah.
Is that you find is that there are people, whether they white, black, Mexican, or whatever, or any other nationality, have you been able to sell that product to them as well?
I have, surprisingly, I have, and I've tend to do events that are for our people. And my friends be saying, girl, you got to get out. She was like, they all buy. And I have experienced like a few, where a few people will be like, okay, would you get offended if I buy this? I'm like, no, we don't. You love the clothing. So yeah, no. But I've had all cultures purchase from me.
Mhm.
Wow, I think that that's an important part of spreading, blackness around, is that we want everybody to embrace the fact that so they can know, hey, this is natural for us. Because sometimes even when other people are trying to wear African clothes, they get, well, I don't know if I'm going to wear it today. Oh, I'm only going to wear it to this place. I'm only going to wear it to that place. And I think what you were saying earlier about her wanting to buy for every Sunday. Well, you said that no, this is every day of the week. This is who we are every day of the week, and I think that that's something that when you keep going out there, you're going to find that people are going to decide that, you know what, I can wear this every day of the week. So I really applaud you for that and getting out and doing that. One other question I have for you before we get into everything was, tell me something that nobody knows. What's unique about Miss Hooper? What's something that nobody really knows about you?
That I love to dress. They say, you always say, when you got to clean up, you can clean up. But at the same time, I love to fish. So I can get my hands dirty as well. So something a lot of people don't know. You got to be like, okay, I'm all around. I can help you get beautiful, and I can help feed you at the same time. Yeah, a lot of people are shocked by that, and it's just like, oh, you do clothes all the time, but you fish. Yeah, it was like, yo, this is, having your own business is can be stressful at times. So it's like sometimes you have to have moments where you just like, calm down, and just sitting there trying to catch a fish is very relaxing, music or no music. And so yeah, that is my feature that people don't know about.
It almost sounds like a hobby or something, or just
Yes,
something you do to relax and unwind.
yes, both. My husband fished, my mother-in-law, my mom, my brothers. Is like in our family. When the kids was growing up, somebody's birthday, their first birthday, they got a little fishing pole. So yeah.
What lake you like to go to? What is one of the lakes that you go to? And I know you've caught some bluegills. Tell me about your experience with the
I
lake.
had some on Saturday. So where I live, I actually live in Canyon Lake, and we have our own lake here. So it's like 5 minutes away from my house. But I go to Santa Barbara. I'm in Arizona. I'm all over the place. Like I said, I've been
Yeah.
fishing since I was a little girl. My grandfather fished. My brother fished. So yeah, we all fish. It's in our blood. It's in the family. And I even did
I like
lobster
that,
fishing last year.
Wow. Wow.
Yes.
man.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. You have any questions there, Razak, you like to get to?
Um, well, let's see. What was one of the most challenging situations you have faced, and how did you navigate through it as you started? So you already had a business before,
Hmm.
so then so something transpired when you left that business and you started up this one. So what was there a challenge in starting something new, or is there something new? I mean, you sold clothes before, but now you're actually making them or designing them yourself now.
No challenges as far as starting a business. I am, my husband say, a rare breed. A go-getter. So if I see something, I'm like, I might not have no money saved up, but I'm like, okay, I'm focused, I'm driven, this is what we about to do. So once I put my mind to something, I'm gonna see it through. Whether like okay, like it didn't go 100% or however I wanted to do it, but yeah, I'm gonna go after it. I have even though this is my boutique, this is what I do, but I did real estate, hairstylist, massage therapist, so I've tried a few things. So it's just like, okay, if you have a desire to be your own boss, it's just like get out there and do it. Whether you stick with it or, that might not be something for you. Like I was a hairstylist. My hair business was slow. And I was like, okay, go to massage therapy school. But I had opened up a retail store, and I'm the type of person, if I see somebody I like and I go to them, I have services done, I'm sticking with them. So I never really got into the massage thing other than my family members trying to get on the table for free. So I'm like, no, I didn't go to school for this. But yeah, but no, that
Wow.
was the only challenges. Like you were saying, not really having finances. But my thing is that has never stopped me. Not having, a lot of people will be like, oh, I want to start a business, but I don't have the money. And I've owned two hair salons, one retail. This will be three retail businesses and two hair salons. I never had any capital saved. I was just like, this is what I want to do. I'm online. I'm looking for what you call it, rack stands, stuff to set up your store. And I'm like, okay, little bit by little bit, just buying pieces. And it's like, okay, we ready. Why? When I started my thrift store, I went online, I was on social media, and I was like, I want to start a thrift store. People start inboxing me, hey, I have this, I have this, I have this. And my husband was like, the garage is almost full. I think you're ready. You got enough inventory. So it's just, if you decide that you want to do that, just jump out on faith. That's all. Just
Jump
jump out
out
on,
on faith.
yeah, jump out. Yeah.
Wow.
And
Wow. I
that would
think
be my
that's what
setback, is probably not
Jump
having.
out on faith.
Yeah.
That
I
might be
think
a little slogan right there. Jump out on
yeah,
faith.
yeah,
Just
yeah.
just go for it, huh? That reminds me. That kind of like goes into this next little question that we have right here. This was there like a particular moment? Like, okay, well, so you seem to have jumped around a lot and you have some success. So what were the setbacks, and what could you like educate the our listeners, subscribers, and anybody who can view this? What were the setbacks that you overcame and played a crucial role in the development of the business that you have now?
I would say probably having the right uh, resources to take your business to the next level. Because even though I did everything on my own, it's just like, okay, like you jumping into it. Um, just having the knowledge to be able to, like, when for example, I was a hairstylist, and I was a hairstylist for 15 years, and I took a business class because I was going to open up my salon. And I was like, I never knew like the business side of it. I was a stylist behind the chair all those years, but never knew the financial part of it, because it's like, okay, you got to go get a business plan. You got to go get A on your business plan and do XYZ. And I never knew that side of it. So definitely people starting businesses now, I definitely would encourage them to get on the backside of it, the financial part of it. Because anybody, you could go out and buy clothes and flip products, but it's more to it than just opening up a business, and making sales for the longevity. That's what I should say. Yeah.
Yes,
But
I could definitely relate to that. You know, what I mean, as being an employee for so many years myself, and now, that's one of the things that helped me, or I should say, inspired me to become a black business owner. Because a lot of years we're always working for somebody else. We're always working for somebody else, and we never really know what goes into it. You know what I mean? And we're thinking like, okay, well, these people, you might get sick and you get fired because they don't care about you or something. But as the business go on, you realize that there's just so many levels to this. But after putting in all the licenses, you know what I mean, and keeping up with the finances. That's why I have I'm just trying to get the management of your finances, the management of the strategy. How do you keep your sales going? How do you the distribution? All these different things. So I commend you on how you learned how to overcome these things.
oh, thank you, thank you. Yeah, it hasn't been easy, but it's like, okay, what I told my husband, so this boutique is actually, I'm home based, and I had a store, and then I came back home, and my husband was like, okay, like this, what you gonna do? You gonna try to open up another store? And I said, you'll be, some people are always, typically 9 to 5. You're accustomed to doing a 9 to 5. Having an entrepreneurial spirit is not in everybody. So he was asking me, well, what's your goals? And I said, well, I'm working. I'm home based. This is a garage converted. But that's not my goal to still be in this garage in 5 years. So whether you're just focused online, I do have a couple of clients that I wholesale to, but it's all about, elevation. So it's like, where are you going? We're not going to still be doing the same thing 2 years, 2 to 5 years from now. You got to be going somewhere up, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I think that's
Definitely
one of
agree
the
with that.
things that. Go ahead, Razak.
No. No.
No, it's one of the things that I think that we all have to, think about when we're opening a business or doing something. All of those other responsibilities that comes along with having a business. It's not just, and then not just having the sales like you're saying, but then it's that entrepreneurial spirit because you can start a business with zero if your mind and heart is in it. You know what I mean? You just start doing it, and whatever you get. And when you were mentioning that you were getting your inbox full of stuff and everything was coming in, and now the garage is full. That's because of that entrepreneurial spirit. That's because you put that energy out there. You put that out there to receive all of those things. And so I think that's one of the things that people that are at home are not able to, we're trying to get them to see is to get off the couch. If you're a black person or you're any kind of entrepreneur, use that spiritual entrepreneurship that you have in you and go get whatever you want to get. And what Zakwas was saying regarding having your job and the job taking over and you not having the ability to say, I want to be here. I don't want to be here 9 to 5. I actually want to be doing some of the stuff that I like to do. So how do you make that transition? And you said the most important thing, and you walk out there on faith.
Yeah.
You walk out there on your faith to try to get what you want because ain't nobody else is going to do that but you. So one of my things is wondering that who motivated you? Who gave you that motivation?
Well, my family is all they're all entrepreneurs. My mom was a hairstylist for 35 years. My dad never had a real job. Always doing something hustling. So my father's side of the family, I could be with somewhere with my mom and I'd be like, oh, I could flip that. She'd be like, you just like your daddy's side of the family. So it's in my blood. My grandfather died when he was on my dad's side, 90 years old, and he was what you call like a junk man. He was still picking up stuff at 88. 89 years old, still picking up stuff, trying to haul. So it's just been in my blood. And it's just like you were saying, having faith. I remember one time I sold ladies' shoes and I took my sister with me. and she always did corporate. She was managers in all these different companies, and she was like, "Okay, I want to get a little taste of that." So we went down to our vendors. We get in the car, go pick her up. We going shopping. We get to the place, and she says, "I forgot my money," and I'm like, "Okay, okay, I'm gonna front you. Just give me the money when you get home." We get back to the house, and she said, "I changed my mind." I'm like, "Oh my gosh, are you kidding me?" So needless
Wow.
to say, it is not in everybody's blood to do that, because you have to have tough skin. You're gonna have some days where you're gonna be crying. It's like, oh my gosh, how I'm gonna pay my bills. But to have a 9 to 5, I know that when I go to work, I get 18, whatever, $15, $18 an hour. That's my cap. But coming from an entrepreneur spirit, it's like, okay, what do I need? I got this bill, extra bill that's $500. What do I need to do? Make some sales. You got some merchandise to make some sales, but you can't do that when you work a regular job. So coming from being a hairstylist, I'll just be like, okay, just run a special. Same thing here. I need to make some sales. I'll get in some people's inboxes. Hey, so I've never been one. Even when business gets slow, I went and got a job at Walmart, and I worked there for 3 weeks. And my husband was like, I was just gonna see how long it was gonna last, how long you was gonna do it. I worked on the job one time for 2 days. But when I worked at Walmart, I was like, 3 weeks was the longest. And um I left work one day early. They gave me a write-up for that. The next time, my daughter's boyfriend had died. And I told the lady what happened. And I'm just like, okay. She says, but you didn't tell me you wasn't gonna come to work. And I'm like, excuse me. I was like, so I'm going to my lunch, and I come back and I said, before I left for the break, and I said, what is the protocol for a 2 week notice? When I came back from lunch, I gave that 2 week notice. Haven't worked with nobody since then. So I'm like, we just gonna keep our faith going and thanking God that it's been able to sustain my income. So I'm like, I can't do it. I can't do it. It's not for it's like I say, it's not for everybody. But you be like, if you can do it and you can hang in and get that tough skin, work for yourself. I'm like, if I gotta go work that hard for somebody, I'm gonna work for myself. Yep.
That is a powerful thing, and I'm glad that you mentioned that.
Yeah.
Razak.
So I'm thinking, so you're doing a lot. You got a lot going on. Are there specific daily habits or routines that you believe contribute to your productivity and your well-being?
For sure, being consistent, being one, because I work for myself, and this, pays my bills. I'm like, okay, we don't leave up out the house. I have a set number that I need to reach as far as income. So whether I've made that amount before I leave the house, or I posted enough content to make those sales. Because otherwise, you sitting at home, you could be lollygagging, watching TV, doing all kind of stuff. So I definitely do have a system in place to be like, you got to get it done. So if you on a job, you're supposed to be working 8 hours, and you got to you got to make that income. You got to reach your goals. You got to put them hours in. And most people work for themselves. They're not just working 8 hours. They working 12 and up or whatever. But yeah, so yeah, you gotta have consistency. You gotta have that consistency going. Yeah.
Right,
You're
right.
absolutely right about that. Ain't no free, nothing free when you're an entrepreneur. You got to get out there and pound the pavement every day, every day. And
Man,
if you ain't pounding the pavement, you better be pounding the phone. If you ain't pounding the phone, you better be pounding that internet. Be tapping them fingers and figuring
Yeah.
out how you're gonna do a lot of those stuff. Do you have any more questions that you want to ask right now, Razaka, before we get into
um,
the show?
well, how do you structure, like, okay, well, so you seem to be quite busy right there. So how do you maintain the trying to have your own business and like your life, like your regular, like, is there like a relationship? Are you like a separate person when you're a business person? Are you a separate person when you're at home? How do you balance that in between being an entrepreneur and just, just living life and trying to relax and just trying to make some stability for yourself for the future?
That I would say, with probably be has its challenges, because when you have, I have messages coming in on my phone. It's like, okay, type. But we do a Sunday dinner. I'm very family orientated. So every Sunday we do Sunday. So probably Sundays, and I might still be on my phone, but the only day that I'm not like, okay, in work mode. Even sometimes I'll be on vacation. I'll be like, somebody message me. So eventually I'll be able to get to a place where you can just kind of like have your own personal time. But when you have your own business, it's like somebody putting an order in. They're the orders are coming directly to me. So that has I don't have a lot of structure where that comes in. Other than that, one day I try to be like, no Sundays, no Sundays.
No Sundays.
But yeah, other than that, it's you working. I'm ordering from stuff from Ghana, and they might be messaging me at 1 o'clock or 3 o'clock in the morning. And I'm like, you know what time it is here. But you gotta. That's where you want to be getting some orders. Some have some merchandise. You got to get up. You got to work with the people. So um, structure. We still working on the structure part. We still
All
working
right.
on that.
Wow, that's great because having a family and trying to, have a husband and all these different things that you kind of have these responsibilities and duties to, you're doing there. You being an entrepreneur is really, really cuts into that sometimes. Sometimes just when you want to do something with the family, you do get that order or you do get that item that you got to ship. So what I would like to ask is, what's on your bucket list? What's one of the things that you got coming up, or you trying to put into that bucket list to get done?
My biggest thing on my bucket list is I want to actually go to Ghana. I want to go meet my vendors. I actually have a friend that lives well, she's having a house built over there. Her husband is from there. So that is definitely on my bucket list. I'm having a party this year. I'll be 55 in May. So I told my daughter I want 55 people at this party, but I don't want nobody to bring no gifts. I need monetary stuff so I can get to Africa. So that is my bucket list. Yes, to get over there. Yes.
Well,
You
It's
said
just a
monetary. You mean like
My
gift
goodness.
cards and some money, some green,
yes,
huh?
yes. Bring me some cash so I can go and
well,
shop.
that's honest right there. That's honest and authentic and real right there. I don't care what you guys doing. I love to feed you, but you better come with some cashola
Yes,
get me
yes,
so I can get where I
yes,
want to go. That's a big list though to get over
Man.
there. Some of the things that you would run into over there, especially if you've seen your vendors and watching them do that work and put it into your clothing that you're getting. It gives you not only more pride for what you're selling, but it also, the price is what it is because what goes into it to make it. So those are all the things I think that are important to an entrepreneur is to build that understanding about their products so they're able to be out there and sell it with force and not be taken back by what other people are suggesting or whatever. So I think that's one of the greatest things. That can you talk a little bit about life lessons, a little bit about one of the things that you've taken from all of this as far as a life lesson you would give to someone else?
um I think the biggest thing is I have women come to me all the time and ask me, like they want to start their own business, and for whatever reason, they scared. Like I say, it could be monetary reasons, it could be that their spouse don't believe in, people being entrepreneurs. You got to be a 9 to 5. But to me, at the end of the day, it's like, are you happy with what you're doing, and where is it that you want to go? So it's always going to be somebody not in your position that's going to say, oh, why are you doing that? And it's just like, because this is what I want to do. So it is, in the end, it boils down to, even if you have a mate, to be like, okay, well, this is what I like to do, and hopefully we can get on the same page. Yeah, I have all kind of women that approach me, and that's one of my biggest things too about being online. I do a lot of marketing through my Facebook page. My age group is on Facebook, and a lot of people, I've had quite a bit of women that inbox me, and these people are entrepreneurs. And when you say the structure I am on their marketing, all day. I'm there present daily. I go to events and people be like, "Oh, Mechelle, I follow you," and I'm like, I don't even know who this person is, but it's like you doing the work. So anybody that like you were saying, life lessons is just follow your dreams, follow your dreams, because life is so short, and it's just like, what you gonna do? Sit back and be like, oh, I wish I would have. I remember seeing a lot of those women from 9/11, and they were some of them, home wives, whatever you call them, housewives, and their husbands, have passed, unfortunately. But it's like, here it is, and you 50 years old, 60 years old. Now I got to go get a job, and it's like, where your world is turned upside down already. But it's just like, just to grasp that, like, this is you should be close to retirement age, but it's like, oh my gosh, like, so my thing is my mom always said, you gotta have a vision. My grandfather used to always tell me, don't take no wood nickels, make your money, make your money. You got to do what you got to do, make your money. So I could, like I said, come
Right.
from a entrepreneurial world. And my grandfather, he worked, but it's just like, okay, trying to teach you a foundations. So my kids, they all know. My daughter, she just turned 25. She bought her a house, um, have her own business now. So it's just like, if you set a foundation, whether you want to do that or not, yeah, you
So
set the foundation. People will follow you. Like I said, the people watching me on social media, they're like, I need to
yeah.
be like you. So it's just like, just get in a consistent mode. But for me, people that have a regular job, you always have something to fall back on. So it's like,
Right.
okay, well, it's not working. I'm doing my business part time. So it's like, you can't. Is this a part time job, or is it, is this what you're doing? Yeah. So it's just like, if this is what you're doing, this is your business. You got to get out there. You got to put yourself out there.
So with Mechelle D. Hooper's boutique, right? Hope I spell that said it right. Uh, do you consider, like, everything you just said right now? If we can compile that together, with your boutique that you're having right now, do you consider yourself building a legacy? And if you are, then how are you trying to finalize and make that actual reality for your siblings that your kids and stuff, that your family members that are left behind?
Yeah, I was watching the podcast with the realtor, Aubrey, that you guys had on, and he talked about legacy, and I was like, you know what? That's one area I need to work on, because as far as um I couldn't pass this on. I have one daughter, two daughters. One that's really like if into African attire. She probably would pick the business up. But as far as like building a legacy, I'm like, you know what? If something ever happened to me, like my family, like they not in contact with my vendors, you see the stuff in here, to know to keep the business going. So I'm like, I need to work on that. That part I need to work on. Because if something happened, it's just like, yeah, what's going on with your business? And it's like, it's to a point now where it's just like, that would be a shame if something happened to me and one of my family members couldn't take over. So yeah, I got to work on that.
Do they not ever share in the sales, and or helping you to market, or go to the festivals with you?
Well, that would
Just to
just
know.
be you taking the sales, something up on the computer. But no, as far as like it's me. I wear the hats. I am the model, the marketer, the purchaser. So yeah, that would definitely be a challenge, because it's like, okay, well, what do you buy? What was it that my mom came down here and bought? So it's just like, yeah, I would have to, yeah. My youngest daughter, but she's in Georgia, will probably be able to do that, because like I said, she's into the African thing. So yeah, but
Okay.
that's definitely something. When people talk about leaving a legacy for their family, it's like, have you put the stuff in position for them to be able to do that? Not just like you saying, just building it. Where's the blueprint at? How do we do this? Who do we need to contact? Yeah, so
Well,
yeah.
I definitely know it's gonna be a challenge, and it's hard to direct where those finances and where that responsibility will go to. That is definitely a part in it, and And I'm not, and some of these questions I know we're asking, the vendors and the black business owners, but some of these uh well, a lot of these questions actually apply to me myself too. So and a lot of times, just like how you just said, I mean, it's just like, as I ask the question, I also have to determine, where does my business go, what I mean, and where in the associates and the other business that I associate with, how does that leave a foundation for something that so I can have my own legacy and I can be proud of that, and it can be taken over, because that is very important in the black community. And well, probably any community, as far as a business owner, or a parent even, but and I just look towards, in these interviews we have, I kind of don't just ask the question out. Sometimes I'll be sitting here and I'll just be listening, maybe because a lot of you guys, business owners, black business owners, minority business owners, I'm inspired myself by just hearing you guys' story, and it gives me a direction to go in for myself also. So I'm not just always just
Yes,
just
sir.
sitting here idly, just like asking people questions. It's like, okay, let's go to the next person. I'm actually internalizing a lot of things that we're hearing, and I hope that subscribers and listeners are also doing the same.
Yeah, and when you say that, because you can never learn too much. So I know I was watching another one of y'all podcasts, and it's just like, okay, like what inspired you, or where you getting your uh what's the word,
Inspiration.
inspiration from. Yeah, so it's like you never know, like somebody looking at you, following you, or I'm always online googling different businesses, and it's like, okay, they had it. Oh, this business is doing XYZ. So when you saying you having conversations with people, the same thing is like I wouldn't have never even thought about that question, or thinking about where do I need to be in this area of my business had I not heard it from somebody else. So yeah,
Right.
I can understand what you're saying about, yeah, that is an inspiration. Just talking to different people, because you never know what you might hear.
Right.
Yeah.
I think you're absolutely right, because legacy and being inspired to in your business is an important part about what people remember about you. Some people remember you're a good cook. Some people remember you're good. You can catch fish. You know how to do that. But when you're talking about family and your business, leaving that legacy, which is mean having a conversation with them, letting them see a part of what you're doing. And some of us are like, no, you can't really see because you're not going to understand what I'm doing. You all of this. So I think when you're talking about building a legacy, it's important for you to kind of build that conversation in the family about what's going on, like you said, with your daughter, that might be able to take that over. So I applaud you for at least having that conversation, or thinking about having that conversation, because it's so important. And in my life, I went through the same thing. My wife took care of everything, so I didn't really have. I came home and I'm not used to that. So at the same time, I think that helps to help people understand. So I'm going to ask you now to. We're going to take a break, and we're going to come back with your product. Hey, everybody. We're back with Michelle, and I want to get us a chance to really take a look. I know we've been asking a lot of questions and digging into her brain about her life and everything, but I really want to just get us a chance to see what her boutique is all about and what she has out there for all of our listeners and other potential customers that are out there. So I want you to tell us about it and take a look around. Let's see what you have there.
Okay. I should have had to move this chair again, huh? So, like I said, I
No
still have
worries.
stuff for men, women, and children. So, what I wanted to show you guys is my top seller. So, this is like a mermaid dress. This fitted is all stretch. Somebody going to a wedding, something you want some heads turning, and you want people to be saying she's cute. This is the one. So this is our top seller as far as like going out to something special or birthday or whatever. And it's one size. So 99.9 of the items I have here in the boutique are one size. So like I said, all stuff, men, women, and children. This piece I have on now is actually a piece that I had made in Ghana. This is unisex. So it ties up on the side. You can use it as a cover up, like have it as a top. Somebody want to wear it over a swimsuit, whatever you choose.
Are these pieces called anything? Do they have a particular name?
No, you know what? Probably over there. And that's so funny because, like I said, I was watching your video last week and I'm like, okay. A lot of times people ask me about the prints. And my husband asked me, he said, do you ever think like if you went over, because some of my vendors are, local vendors or, New York or whatever. And it's just like, if you ever think if you went to Ghana, like how you would feel like knowing this is an authentic piece. So it's like, would that change your mind to be like, okay, you're just selling, everything authentic, but everybody's pockets ain't authentic pockets. So you got to have something for everybody. So I'm like, okay. But this one right here, this is we doing a lot of custom pieces, men and women going different places. So all the items come with a head wrap. All the ladies' items come with a head wrap. So this is something new I just started. This is March this year, where you could actually take the head wrap and have something custom made for the guy. So this dress does not come with a head wrap, but as you guys can see, this is a men's shirt. This is a men's t-shirt right here. And it's the same exact pattern. So if the husband, wife, they go in somewhere, it's a cute little outfit. So we do a lot of custom pieces.
I
This
kind of like that shirt right there. What's the head wrap that goes with that?
No, the hair wrap is for the woman. So normally the woman will
Okay.
wear hair wrap. So we just took the scarf and I took it to a seamstress and had her add that stripe on there for the guy. So you can wear a
Do
pair
they
of
have like
jeans.
hats or scarves or something like that that the men wear or anything like that?
On some of the sets I have, they do have the little Kofi hat to it, but that one doesn't. Yeah, that is
Okay.
just the shirt. Yeah, that one is just a
I
shirt.
love that shirt too. That shirt was knocking out, and he went right at it because I was looking at that shirt. It looks good.
Yeah, nice. So even this one I just showed you, it's like this is the head wrap here. So I
Okay.
did this. I just took this hair wrap, took it to my seamstress, and she put it on a shirt for a guy. So anything in the boutique that has a head wrap, we could do a custom shirt for the man to match. And then this is actually a lady's outfit right here. It's a skirt and a top. And then this is a kid's outfit. So if you ever going somewhere, mommy and me, birthday parties or whatever, they want to dress alike, we do pieces for the entire family. So you can find something that's gonna match the husband, the kids. I just did a family of 5, and then I have a photograph of a family. Grandpa took some pictures with all of his kids and their grandchildren. It was like 13 people in the picture. So yeah, we can hook up the whole family, the whole church. I did a whole church before in San Diego. So yeah.
Say, let me ask you, are any of your items, if you know, are um are they related to a certain type of tribe or anything, or a certain of area of Africa
Oh,
that, that
yeah.
that you can show us right now?
So this piece that I have on is actually from Ghana. So when you said that, I said, okay, I need to start researching. So all the fabrics and stuff are going to come from different countries, and a lot of that stuff I'm still learning. I was just like, oh wow. I was watching a video last week, and I was like, the ladies in the YouTube video was entitled, "Are you insulting the person that you're giving it to?" So it's like this print means like XYZ. And I was like, okay, I gotta start watching what I ordered because I didn't know that. So it's just like, okay, they have certain fabrics in Ghana that they wear. Like if you're going to a wedding, it's white and black, it's red and black, and possibly brown. So they have different prints that they wear for different things and different colors. Yeah. So they do have, some of them have meanings to them and some of them don't. Some are just like fabrics that maybe China done copied or whatever, but a lot of the prints they do have meanings to them.
Okay. Well, you are on the move with KF and JF podcast. So let's move around and let's hit these. What are those earrings on the side, or what are those?
Yeah, so we sell accessories. So anytime the ladies buy something, we do have matching accessories because they get an outfit. Y'all want some earrings to match. We have ladies stuff and we have men's stuff. This is an authentic. Let me see. This is a really nice piece. This is something that I actually had made in Ghana, and this is actually a necklace. Goes around your neck. But the awesome part about this is the straps are long enough where you can actually wear it as a belt. So you can belt it, but it actually goes around the neck like that. Yeah, so
Okay.
super cute. So we have quite a bit of stuff up in here. Like I said, I have men jewelry too. I'm gonna show you a couple of men pieces. Um, I just actually shipped one of these to Mississippi. So I ship all over. So this is a men's necklace and it has the beads on here. So all of these are men's or can be unisex. This one has the fork on.
Is those is that a is that does that mean something right there? The one with the design on it. The
I'm sure
I
they all
mean
have, yeah, they all have some meaning to them. So I have to be like, okay, this little list,
that looks like a
I got to keep
that
that
yeah, that
there.
looks like an Afro pick right there, huh?
Yeah, it's an Afro pick, and then it
But
has Africa, the symbol in the inside of there. So it's an Africa symbol in the middle of there. You probably can't tell, but
yeah, yeah, we can see it. Mm-hmm.
yeah. So they all do have yeah. So I stuff men, women, even
Well,
have some kids stuff. So just depending on
I
what they
definitely
look.
want to see that stuff. That
What? This is a nice one too. This is a man.
that men's stuff looks great. I love that. The women too.
Yes, yes, yes. So all over from the
Oh yeah,
kitties
I
to
love
the
that.
mothers. You have some nice uh kid sets. So this one is
Okay.
a full. This is a kid's piece. It has a pair of pants, and it also has the hat. You asked about it earlier.
Okay, there we go. All
Yeah.
right.
So we
I'm
have
think I'm think
these types of set in for kids and for adults. Yeah.
I'm keep as I'm looking at your stuff, I'm thinking about that movie Coming to America. You know how
Yeah.
they was wearing all that stuff, right?
Yeah. I actually
Oh,
had a customer last month come and buy some stuff for me, and that's what she was going to a Coming to America party. It was a Coming to America theme party. Yes. I have a whole bunch of men's items. Men's items are, I should say, they sell the less, but that would probably be on me to market it better because I post
mhm.
my women's stuff all the time. But yeah, we do have more men's items as well. Um, but unfortunately, we can't get to them. So when I was saying that, because my men's stuff, all this stuff around here is all women's stuff, and I have 3 racks back there that are men's stuff. So as my customers they come to shop, I'll be like, okay, let me pull the men's stuff out. So the men's stuff is back there, but I got plenty of sets. This one is a set too. So this is like a bomber jacket, and it has a pair of pants to it. And this
Okay.
one is unisex too.
Well, let me ask you a question. Can you say how they can get a hold of you and email and all that stuff as you hold that up there? I just want our audience to really be able to see what they're getting as well as know how to get a hold of you.
Yes. Okay. So my website is my Facebook page. I have a business Facebook page, and it is Mechelle Mechelle Hooper Hooper boutique. And so if you all you just to put www.michellehoopersboutique.shop, and you'll be able to shop all my stuff. Okay, right there through the Facebook page. And we post stuff all the time, nice quality stuff. I get people new customers. It's so funny because I had a new customer come to me and she was like, "Oh, I don't know if I should buy stuff." More and more people are shopping online. I was not an online shopper prior to COVID. So I just went in and asked my clients, if you've ever purchased anything from me, put up a post. So my
Right.
customers was dropping their pictures, dropping comments, and then the lady inboxed me back and she says, "Thank you so much for that." Because yeah, you never know. There's a lot of people out there. You got people that scamming people, but it's like, no, we authentic over here. You can be comfortable shopping. And even when I tell people 99.9 of the items are one size, but if you tell me you a 3X and I can tell you this fits you, it's gonna fit you. Yeah. So I like to be upfront and honest with people rather than somebody sending me something back and then be like, oh, well, you said no. Well, it's true to size. So I'm gonna give you the honest opinion up front. So you don't have to return nothing. You'll be happy with the quality, the prices, and all of that the first time. Yeah.
Okay.
Wow. How do you network? What are some of the things you do to get out there and network with, whether you're networking with other businesses or other pop-up, communities that are out there that you go to? What's your networking like?
I am on social media, I don't know how many hours a day. So I mostly, like I said, most of my stuff is through Facebook. So I'm in a lot of different groups. You guys are not familiar with the Black Riverside group, y'all need to get over there. I think it's like 42 over 42,000 people up in there. And I've been in a group now for 3 years. I'm from Compton. We moved to this area. I didn't know nobody out here. So now I have a lot of connections through that group. That group can change your life. I'm like, okay, it's a life changing. I'm like, without that group, I don't know where I would be. So just through meeting people, networking through there, I get invited, met some people, get invited to different special events. It's just like, okay, how did somebody just messaged me last night and invited me to a church function. I'm like, how did you get my information? Oh, so and so referred me to you. I'm like, okay, well, girl doing her job. I'm doing my job. Yeah, so I'm out there. I'm out there. Like I said, I go to events and people walk up to me and they like, I never bought anything from you, but I see you all the time. I see you posting. I give somebody my business card and they be like, I follow you. And I'm like, okay, good. I'm doing my job. I'm doing my job. Yeah.
All
Well,
right.
that's the big part about being out there as a entrepreneur. You are when you're doing your job. It's because the instant that someone comes back to you and say, "Oh, I saw you from here or saw you from over there, and I heard about you," then as an entrepreneur, you're doing your job. You're making yourself notice and being noticed. And I think that that's an important part of being out there. So you're doing such a great job of that, and I like a lot of the stuff you have there now. I'm holding back on saying what I would like to buy because it's just something I haven't seen in a while, and I just really want to bring that to myself as well as far as the cultural is concerned, and learn about it because there's a lot of stuff I don't know. And like you're saying, you're learning as you're coming out with these outfits from colors to what they mean and all of that. So I really want to get that appreciation. And doing this podcast, we're getting more of that information. We're learning ourselves, right, Razak?
Mhm.
Yes. Yes. I like the fact that you can admit that you're still a growing business. I mean, and that's what the podcast is about. That's why I always like to always, I got the thing the saying, we're ground level.
Mhm.
I like to give exposure to, businesses that are, I mean, you're on Facebook, you're on other media sites, but there's always help that can be applied to marketing and promoting your brand, your merchandise, your services and stuff like this of this nature. And I feel that, when you have some genuine, concern, I guess we will be a black podcast, that want to feel good about it, and humble ourselves about, getting the message out there and getting the exposure out there and making sure that, businesses such as yourself, you're not alone. We want to see you do good. We want to see you successful. And this is our way of giving you that lift up the ladder, helping you climb that gigantic mountain to success over everybody else in the community, over, the diverse, I like to use, that sometimes there's the challenge of race, the challenge of, you know uh, forget about just being a black man, being a black woman, what I mean, because, we have our challenges, but women also have their challenges too. It's not always highlighted, and I see, doing a podcast, like, we're highlighting a lot of struggles that, also that are not voiced in
Mhm.
the community that, the black females go through. So I like to thank you for your honesty and being authentic in the thing in the pursuit of your business.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hmm.
Yeah, because like you saying, you never know who you might be talking to that you can uplift. Just connecting and talking to people. Yeah, so I applaud you guys for what y'all doing because it's always there's always you're gonna have some challenges in having businesses. Um, when I had my thrift store, I used to always have like little giveaways and stuff like that. My friend, she was like, "You do too much." She was like, "All this stuff coming up out of your pocket," and I was like, "No," I said, "You got to give back. God's blessing you, and you got to give back." So it's just like, how do you give back to people? Like you were saying, you might want to start your own business. I met some ladies, and I think it was started off like 13 of us, and I started this little group where we were talking on through Messenger, and this was like, okay, they all wanted to start their own business. Nobody had ever had a brick and mortar before. I was the only one. So it's like, okay, ladies, what y'all want to do? Okay, I'm here to mentor y'all. Any questions y'all have? We need to do some research. We got together, we did lunch, we would brainstorm and stuff like that. And it wind up only being six of us because it was people was started off, somebody will trinkle in 13 people. And then I'm like, these people not serious about their business. This is like, you woke up this morning, I see you post something, but you ain't talk about your business. Your business ain't open. So it wind up only being six of us, and we're actually really close now. Nobody, probably about half of us probably still doing the business part of it. But it's just like, yeah, you just sometimes just have to pull people up under your wings because this is like, man, how do I do this? Um, I wish I had somebody to teach me to do X, Y, Z. And it's like, it's enough out here for everybody to eat. So it's like, okay, if I can share some information with you, not saying like I'm sharing my vendors, but share some information with you to help you get started, some words of encouragement, to help you to motivate you or keep you on your toes. It's like, why not? Why not? Because I every customer ain't for me. So it's like, okay, if this customer is not for me, somebody came up to one of my booths last week and she was like, "Oh, do you sew?" And I said, "No, but let me take you to this girl right here. She makes custom stuff. She sews." So it's just like, why would I not refer that to somebody else? So you gotta be, thank y'all for what y'all doing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, thank you for being here. I'd like to ask you something in that, dealing with that area is, when you're working with in your business as an entrepreneur, what have you ran across? And I know you say you're bringing other women and showing them how they can learn something through what you've been through as a business owner. Do you find that there have been things where you have to push people away because of their negativity, or do you have people that are jealous? How do you work with all of those different things that come to a business such as yourself, which is really, well, like you said, you have a lot of the women product out front. So that means to me that you're dealing with a lot of women, and there may be some frustrations or people jealousy and all of that. How do you deal with that, and what are some of the things that you've ran across?
I give everybody, and my husband, like I say, he always say a rare breed. I give everybody the benefit of the doubt until they cross me. So, for example, I had a customer, and she had been buying from me for probably like 2 years. She had spent like over $10,000, and she decided she wanted to start doing her own thing. She has so many items. It's like, okay, no problem. I start wholesaling to her, and then she was like, "Oh, okay, well, I need to get this," and she wind up finding her another vendor, and she was upset with me that I wasn't selling her merchandise at this particular. I was like, I can't sell you. I'm not direct to the vendor, so it's just like, okay, yeah. So that was a little frustrating because then it was like I got something in, and then I seen the lady something similar, and she was like, "Oh, well, how did you find out about that?" And I'm like, "I just shared all this information with you." So, but it's like, "Oh, okay, can you get this for me?" It's just like, "Oh no, I can't do that." So you will run across that, and I just said I gave that person the benefit of the doubt until some situation came up. But it don't stop me from being who I am. I had that happen to me years ago, and it was a close friend of mine. So I used to sell shoes, and I took the lady with me so she could start her own business. And then my car was broke down one time, and I was supposed to go shopping. And my vendor was like, "Oh, your friend was here earlier." And I said, "Really?" I'm like, okay. So I told my mom because we all grew up together, and she was just like a friend of my mom's, and she was like, wow. She said, baby, that's why I tell you, you can't tell everybody. But I said, you know what? That ain't that's between her and God. That ain't my business. Like if I turn you on to something, you be like, hey, I know your car was down. Like you need to ride. Like so it don't. I don't let stuff like that block my blessings. So I just continue being me and doing what I do. People do try to block your blessings, but you can't they can't do that, so it's just like, okay, just continue. If you're a genuine person, continue being the person that you are, and your blessings will. My girlfriend, she tell me all the time, oh, you so blessed, and you so. I was like, girl, I'm just doing what was on my heart. And then to be like, when I say I started this business because I was a hairstylist, and then George Floyd, they burnt the salon down at that I worked. Then COVID happened 4 months later. So it's like, what do you do? And going from where I was able to pay my bills every month, and it's just like I got a phone call for one of my hair clients, and she was like, "Your salon, the salon that you work at is on fire." And I'm like, "What?" I go down there, and I'm like, "It's literally on. It was on fire." And I was like, all my equipment, everything damaged. So it's just like, how do you start all over from scratch? And it did take a toll on me, and I'm just like, okay, just pick up the pieces. Where do we go next? And like I said, I went into business with some family members, had a store in Gardena, and I was one of the buyers, the marketer, and all this stuff. And then when I moved, I'm like 2 hours out now. I'm like, okay, I don't want to do the drive. And so this is what birthed this store. And when I say God opened up doors for you, I would have never imagined like I would be selling clothes full time. This is what I would be doing. But I'm thankful because like I said, I started working since I was in the 6th grade, and I feel like, well, I didn't work for 40 years now. I need to be doing what I want to do at this point in time. My kids is grown, so it's time for you to do you, and this is what we doing.
So,
Yeah,
well, it's working.
yeah.
It's working. Mm.
I think everything you're doing is, like I said before, is just awesome because of the fact that you're bringing that natural African culture to, people that normally don't have that ability to see that. And then when they do, and they find that it's something they can wear, I'm just wondering, do you find that other people um, have given you any problems about wearing it at their job or wearing it at certain places?
I haven't. I personally haven't. And it's so funny because when you say that, this is like, okay, I need to get out. Sometimes, like I'm just throwing something on. I might be going to the post office. I'm like, I need to be wearing my clothes every day. Whether I'm going to Walmart, my girlfriend be like, I said, girl, we need to just dress up one day and just be walking around Walmart, just showing it. But
Mm.
no, nobody have not, I have not heard that. I think society now is more lax about certain things, and I have not heard anybody say that. A lot of my customers be like they buying stuff to wear to work, so I haven't had one person come to me and say that it was an issue for them to be able to wear that to work. Yeah.
So by having this clothing line, are you would say that you're geared towards the let me say if I say it right, Afrocentricism,
Afrocentric.
Afrocentralism,
Uh-huh.
Afrocentric. Is that
Yeah.
is that is that where you was? Is that where
Yes.
you're headed to when you had the boutique when you didn't start it?
I actually used to sell vintage clothing, so it'd be like retro vibe, kind of hippie like. That's what I used to do. But in that same sense, the clothes that I had, like the shirts, they all still would be like bright stuff like this, So it's always been on that vibe. Even I won best dress when I was in school, and it was so funny. So when I was in high school, and they was like, they don't dress like that here, and I was like, I'm my own person. So 4 years later, we got best dressed with the crazy little different style, whatever. So always been into fashion. So yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Can you tell me a little bit about some of the insights and stuff that you would give to our listeners as far as wisdom from what you've listened to today?
One of the biggest things, like I said, I mentioned to you about what happened when I took my sister shopping. So years later, she's deciding she wants to do a makeup business. She's always been into makeup herself. She's going through financial stuff, and I was like, I bought her this box full of makeup, enough makeup to start her whole business line. And she called me. She was just crying. Oh, I can't believe this, and blah blah blah. I said, you know what? In life and business, the one thing that you can't do is you can't make money and excuses in the same sentence. So which one we doing? Which one we doing? And she was just crying. She was just crying. So it's just like, okay, the biggest life lesson is this what you want to do? I'm broke. I have my brothers. One was a handyman. He passed. But at his service, my mom had people stand up. And 90% of the church stood up. It's like, who in here had my son work on your house? My other brother was a cook. He graduated top of his class, culinary school. And one time they was financially struggling and they was like, I don't know what to do. I said, you got skills. You cook and you cook in people's houses. You broke because you want to be broke. Get it done. Get it done. So it's just like, okay, somebody always eating and somebody always needs something done to their house. So it's just like, okay, yeah. So you just gotta get out there, get you some customers. No excuses.
Well, you're right. You're right. You're right. Because ain't nobody gonna, nobody gonna feed you but you. So if you think about it, so you got to get out there, and that's just the entrepreneurial understanding, right? Because once you like you said, not everybody has it, but once you're blessed with that entrepreneurial thinking and mindset to where how you're gonna go, you easy to tell somebody, you know what's your talent? What do you do? Turn your talent or turn the things that you do as a hobby into things that you can make money with, because the job is taking everything else from you. But what are you doing with all that extra talent? You may be a good typist, you might be a good worker, construction worker, but there's other jobs that you can do on the side to make you some money. Don't rely on that job to give you your stability in life. So I just think that's one of the things that if you're going to become an entrepreneur, you have got to get that down. Is that you are there for putting all that effort into yourself, all that supporting of yourself, confidence in yourself, all of those things that's going to help you get out there and not take no for an answer. Because like my mother used to say, when I sold Amway, you can knock on 100 doors, but one of them's going to say yeah. So one of them's going to say yeah. Razak, you have any other questions you'd like to ask her today?
I don't know. Are there any specific innovative practices, approaches that set leading companies apart in your industry?
Um, I'm sure there is. Like I say, I see a lot of people. Some of my customers be inboxing me, pictures of different companies. I'm like, oh yeah, they doing that. That's nice. That's really nice. So, yeah, I'm sure there is some things out there. Yeah, I'm sure there is. Yeah. Like you're saying, just sometimes it's just about getting, having the right connections. Just keep pushing your business, and like to get it to the level that you want it to be. And that depends, because everybody. Some people, like I said, when I was a hairstylist, I didn't wanna. I was the one of the top hairstylists that I went to school when I went to school. But I wasn't one of those ones that wanted to be like working on celebrities. Two of my other friends, it was three of us that were in the top, and they did celebrity hairstylists. So in people's business, it depends on what you want to do. Do you want this to be a $5 billion business? Do you want to be like, oh, okay, like, so your success is where you want it to be? Because you could just be say, okay, well, I'm making 100,000, 200,000, $300,000 a year, and I'm cool because I'm not, I still have a life, um, but at the same time, my business is successful to me. You know, So that depends on where people want to take their businesses to, what levels you
Right.
want to be, because it is a
Do
price to
you think?
pay. You want to get up there. Yeah.
I think I was just sorry for interrupting you. I just want to ask you because it was just driving me nuts. Do you want to stay in the community? Do you want to have your business a part of the community, or do you feel like you want to take your business outside of that and be in another area? Or do you find that being in the community being around the people of color or whatever the national, the struggles and things that are going through the community, that's where you want to be known for? Or do you feel like as if that's you ready to get out of there and go somewhere else and promote your business?
No, I like the community, and I have not did my work here in my community yet. A lot of people still don't know. And like I said, there is no businesses here. From San Diego to LA, I think there's probably like 3 stores that sell African attire. Either are you going into LA? So it's still work that needs to be done in my own backyard. So I'm fine with building a business here. And like I said, for me, my goal is I want to have a successful business where I'm more a one-on-one. I all my business, my orders are done through my website. I mean through my Facebook page. And people's like, okay, I'm working on the website. I've had it done twice already, and by the time, because 99.9 of the items are one of a kind. So with people working on my website, by the time they got done 2 months later, I'm like, okay, half those products are sold. So we starting over from scratch. And I'm into my third person now working on building me a website, because I do sometimes get those clients that are not on social media and they want to order, but they do it through my phone and be like, okay, I can send you some pictures or whatever. So for me, it's more, I have more personal relationships with my clients the way that I'm doing it. But I realize that some people need to be on a website. Some people need to see some stuff on the website. But I like the one-on-one, because you get the genuine me. You get the know, okay, this person is real. I'm not buying from somebody that's trying to scam me. You see me all the time or whatever. So of course I wanted to grow bigger, but yeah, I like the community. Yeah,
Right. Right. That's what we talking about. That's what we
yeah,
talking about.
yeah.
Hmm.
That's exactly what we're talking about, because this is what the podcast is about. It's about uplifting the community and showing Black businesses, and not only that, strong Black women in business. And I think that that's what you're representing right now. You are showing us that, through your actions and through your commitment and through your spirit, that you know what, there's a lot of women that can learn something from that, that's sitting on the couch or maybe like wherever they are, thinking that, oh, I can't, and because of this reason or that reason. I think you come across as where you can show them that they can do that too. It's not going to be easy, but it is something that you can do if you put your mind to it.
Mm.
And just remember that, stay focused on your dream. Sometime not everybody is going to walk and ride in your ship, so you got to make sure that you can do it too. So tell me a little bit about how you see the future for yourself.
Like I said, going to Ghana, expanding my merchandise over there, because like I said, now I have some authentic pieces and I'm loving that. So it's like, okay, maybe down the line we'll have some wedding dresses in stock. We working on that. So yeah, definitely, broaden it as far as there's more authentic stuff. But I want to be able to go there and meet the people. Not that that will stop me from bringing the merchandise in, but of course you got to make connections into like maybe Nigeria or somewhere else. I was looking at some different fabrics, but you got to find people that you're gonna be that you can work with. Because I was in this group on Facebook, and it was a community, and people were from all over. It's like, okay, support this business. And this is how I met my Ghana connection. And I was like, I don't know this man from somebody, a stranger. So it's like, okay, I'll place a little order, and then I'm like, okay, we're gonna try it again. And now it's been 2 years. 2 years. He's been sewing for me now for 2 years. So like that's another thing. Stepping out on faith. I'm like, okay, if I go to the casino, I just lost 200. So if this man run with my money, I gotta look at it like that.
Yeah.
But luckily, he was an honest person, and I'm like, okay, we rolling. 2 years later, we still rolling. But that was definitely stepping out on faith, because I'm like, you just like somebody could just create a page, and it's just like, okay, yeah, this is my phone number. How you get in contact with me? It's like, okay, so now I have four people in Ghana. Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
That's kind of like how we met.
Yes. Yes.
Here we are.
Yeah.
Is there anything in this podcast you like to talk about that we didn't, that maybe you feel like we missed? And I want you to have the opportunity to take this time to talk about those things that you may have thought that we missed.
Um, Not really. The biggest thing I want people that's looking at this is, and if you want to start your own business, because I'm just an average person, just like y'all are, is just step out on faith. We sometimes are our biggest critic, and fear can get to the best of us. So it's just like, okay, if that's what you want to do, just do it. I think that's the biggest thing is because people always say it's just like, okay, I wish I would have. What's stopping you? What is stopping you? Because like I said, I set an example for my kids, and now they're up in age 25, and they I think only one of them out of four, they doing their own business. So it's just like, okay, set an example. So if that's what you want to do, like you say, you are the only person that's stopping you. It ain't gonna be no finances. It's just gonna be like, okay, I need to get out there and get it done. Because what a little bit of money, you could make some things happen. You just got to get started. So I think that's my biggest thing is that anybody can have, you could do a business if that's what you want to do. Yeah.
Wow, wow. I think everybody here at KF&JF podcast is so happy to have had this experience with you as far as being able to talk about your business and the experiences in your journey. I'm really, really happy that you chosen to come on and give us this opportunity to showcase you, and that we will be grateful for a long, long time. And I want to thank you again and give you all the praises in the world about what you're doing, and keep to it, keep steadfast on everything you're doing. When I first met you, it was exciting to talk to you. You had a lot you taught me as far as why and where your garments come from, and I want to learn more about that. So I'm looking forward to seeing your progress and seeing the things that you're going to come up with next, and then, like you say, your dream is to go to Africa. I want to see you have that. So wherever it is that we could support you here at KFJ Podcast, we will do. And I really thank you so much for coming on. Razak, would you like to have some final words?
Um, I was just writing down something right here, so I'm not too sure if we covered it like in how I'm going to ask it, but from your experiences, what is the mind state that you have had to have, and the work ethic that leads to your success that you have had in business, and that involves family, everything, because you're juggling a lot of things, from a wife, mother, I mean, black, black businesswoman. You're juggling a lot of stuff, and we have a lot of obstacles as far as prejudice, race, biasness, and all these other words that just basically mean, mean you're being slammed up against the wall, and now you're finding out how to, when that wall comes, how to just blow past it. So I'm kind of curious of the mind state that you had to adapt into to 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 get through all the things that you have gotten through life. I mean, from the beginning to the end, and to presently where you are right now. And the work ethic that it took to also to collaborate with your mind state.
Um, and saying that is that the what is it that you want, not nobody else, but what is it that you want? So once you get in your mind state that this is what you want out of it, regardless to whether somebody's saying, like I said, oh, don't do that, or that's not a good idea, or you don't have the money to do that. It's like, what do you want to do? So if you have that mindset that this is what I want to do, and can't nobody stop me. It's so funny. My girlfriends tell me all the time, girl, be praying for your husband, because I'm like, he knows when her mind gets to something, she gonna do it. So it's just like, okay, we've been married now for 20 years. I'm so blessed to have a husband. He'd be like, okay, girl, do your thing. Because you could be, where people they're not entrepreneurs. They don't believe in, like, oh, you need to go get a job or whatever. So you were saying having that mindset to be like, this is what you want to do. I've taken care of, raise my four kids, don't raise somebody else's kids, nieces and nephews, brothers and sisters. So it's just like, okay, it's your turn to do what you want to do, and don't let nobody get in the way of you doing that. And if you know what you got to do, just focus on doing it. It's like I say, I get up every day. Sometimes my husband will call me like before, like you got to take the kids to school. You up out the bed 6, 5 o'clock in the morning time. Now he'll call me, be like 9:30. You still in bed? I'm like, but I'm working. So I get up. I get up on the computer. I might be up at 5 o'clock. I'm still in bed, but I'm working. I'm messaging somebody or posting some stuff or whatever. So it's just saying, getting that mindset to be like, okay, this is your business. This is what you want to do. You already know XYZ. This is what you got to do. And I tell people when it come down to monetary stuff, because I have a girlfriend and she was just like, I said, you're not working your business. And I'll be on her. And I realized that she's retired. She has a pension, that this is just a hobby for her. So I had to like step back in the person I am to be like, let her do her business, because it's not really a business for her. It's a hobby. If I make a little money, I'm good with it. But on my hand, it's like, okay, you need to pay your car notes. You need to pay XYZ. So it's a business where you got to provide for your family. So it's just having that right mindset to be like, this is what I'm doing, and I want this business to be here, and this is what I got to do to get it there. Yeah.
I like that. I like that answer. I like that.
Yeah.
It's very good.
That's what it's about. I mean, there's no joke about that, man. And I just for one little note here is that when you talk about other people having it as a hobby, they don't know when it's time to have to go pay those bills that you got to sell that stuff. A hobby is like you said, you make a little money, you're good, you go about your business and put gas in your car. But when you're trying to do it as a business and you're an entrepreneur, there's more than that gas, because the gas is one thing. You got to pay rent, you got to pay car note, you got to do all that stuff, and basically by yourself. So it's one of those things that like I said, I give praise to you for, and I thank you so much. And Razak, I like to be able to leave it up to you right now to close us out.
Well, that's about it. uh,
Well,
I don't know.
let me
This
close it.
caught me off guard right here. I was sort of surprised. Uh, yeah, thanks for having you. Thanks for coming on. And we'll be in contact. We'll make sure to, put all our time and effort. Each we give everybody. I like to say that we give this is like special treatment almost. You know what I mean? We like to call you guys your superstars in your own right. You know what I mean? You're famous, you're important, you're special, you know what I mean? You're an inspiration to the community, whether you know it or not, you're about to be. You know what I mean? If you don't know how to accept that, you know what I mean, that as we build as business owners, we become more in the community than the other guys who are still making excuses, the other guys who are like, as you just previously said, they're saying like, hey, you can't do that, you know what I mean? Well, it's going to cost too much, or this is going to listen. Stop focusing on what you can't do, and let's start to concentrate on what you can do and how you can do it. What are the obstacles that you have to get through? Because that's what I'm learning because a couple of months ago, I didn't have no business. I wasn't doing anything. You know what I mean? I was, well, and then I just said to myself, I've been working. I did a lot of sales and stuff in my years. I did a lot of working for other people, basically. I pushed hard and tried to do this. I went and got degrees and stuff like that. And I kept telling, I got to do this. I got to do this. You know what I mean? But really, all I needed to do was what you said right there, and that's what I did. I acquired the mind state to say that, you know what I mean, that the things that I am capable of doing right now is enough, and I can make that determination of saying, all right, well, I'm going to put this into a business, you know what I mean? And it's a service to where I just particular, what I mean, I did a lot of physical labor, you know what I mean? I did a lot of, other things, working, late laboring basically. And I told myself, I said, well, instead of being the employee who's always doing this and doing that, I said, I wanted to be the brains behind the operation. And that's when I started, put my mind into getting the business going. So right now, I would just like to thank you for, the inspiration that you have, given me and the story that you have shared. It's authentic, it's genuine. What I mean, it's right there along, millions of people that are in the community and they are going through the same thing, or maybe they might even going through the mind state of right now to need that push or need that kind of an insight on this is how you get this, how you do it. You know what I mean? You got to put your mind into it, and then start giving yourself goals, giving yourself little steps to follow. Because this is what I was doing. I had to figure out what did I need to do this. What do I need these different kind of licenses. How do I go about this? How about this? You start asking questions and you start listening when people answer, especially if they're trying to direct you right. There is no wrong answer when somebody is doing it and you haven't done it.
Mhm.
So that would be something I take away from this interview. Me right now is that I mean that I'm inspired to keep going even stronger, and knowing that there are people out there with maybe of a worser uh, um, obstacles than I have. And they're not giving themselves excuses of why they should stop or delay or hesitate in getting their business done. So I'm just humbled to be here and thankful that I was able to have this opportunity to meet you and discuss this with you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Great.
Thank you.
Like I say, any last words, Miss Hoop?
Yeah, I just wanted to say my last words is you never know who God put in front of you or in your circle. So I'll be like, embrace it all. Because you just never know. And then sometimes doors open up for you, and it's just like, don't be fearful. Just walk through 'em. And the last thing that when we were talking about like business in general, that a lot of times people don't realize you say you have your own business. Even I come from a background in networking, network marketing business. So it's like when you look at the business aspect of it, that this is your business. If you do right by your customers, you nature your customers, that you don't constantly have to continue chasing clients. So it's just like, okay, let me you building relationships with the people that you have. Not saying like, oh, okay, like they buying from you every month, but it's just like, okay, I'm in contact. I'm not just like reaching out, oh, because I need to sell, but it's like, okay, to have a successful business, it's like nurturing the clientele that you have. So you have to be constantly chasing, trying to be like, okay, you always need to put people in your database. But if you have a nice database, it's like, okay, I could just reach out to these people and be like, okay, yeah, so those would be my closing words. Walk through those doors, and you never know who God gonna put in your life.
Well, that's definitely for sure because he sure put you in ours, and we're so thankful for that. And here at KF&JF Podcast, we love it. And we're going to continue to do one thing, and that's that we're going to continue to be on the move and looking for more people that are out there that are small business owners that are looking to bring themselves onto the podcast and bring themselves out into the public instead of just sitting there and thinking that, oh no, but I'm scared of the camera. Come on out because you did it. You show that it is
It's not
possible,
that
and we thank you so
it's
much
not
for
that
that.
Yeah.
it's not that
It's
bad.
possible. Thank you so much.
No
It's
problem.
not that bad. It's not that bad at all.